Before Brian Clough arrived in 1975, Nottingham Forest were an unremarkable club with few brief highs in the previous 110 years of their history. 2 FA Cups, 1 second-place finish, the odd notable player, but not much else to show for their existence. In the lower reaches of the second division, even Clough said they were a team on its last legs. But 5 years later, they had lifted the European Cup twice, after remarkably winning the English title in their first season after promotion. Both successes were even more remarkable, given that they had to get past Liverpool, the dominant force in domestic and continental competition in those years. For a spell, Clough's men were referred to at Anfield as that team. They beat Liverpool in their first European Cup tie, a heroic performance by Peter Shilton in the second leg setting them on their way. Britain's first £1 million player, Trevor Francis, scored the goal that would beat Malmo in the 1979 final. Then, almost casually, they did it again, this time getting past Kevin Keegan's Hamburg. Winger John Robertson, perhaps the greatest player in the club's history, dubbed "that little fat guy" by Clough, scored the winner. In the following years, Clough broke the team up too quickly, with Francis, Robertson and Shilton sold, and most importantly, his footballing other half, Peter Taylor. More trophies came at the end of the 1980s as Clough built his second great team with his son Nigel, Des Walker and Stuart Pearce. But by 1992, it was clear that Clough's powers had waned, time and alcoholism taking the edge off a once great manager, and they were relegated. There was a revival under European Cup winner Frank Clark, who built an exciting team around Pearce, Steve Stone and Stan Collymore. Forest won promotion at the first time of asking, then finished third in the Premier League and went into Europe, only defeated in the UEFA Cup by Bayern Munich. Alas, that team didn't last either. Another relegation followed in 1997, and despite another immediate promotion, key players were sold. Pierre van Hooijdonk went on strike in protest at promises he said had been broken, and the third relegation in 6 years followed. Forest have not been back to the top flight since. Then came the wilderness years, and the chance was missed in 2003 when a talented team featuring Michael Dawson and Andy Reid reached the playoffs, but was not built upon. In 2005, they became the first team who'd won the European Cup to drop into the third tier of their domestic league. They stayed there for 3 years as Gary Megson alienated players and fans and was eventually dismissed, before Colin Calderwood brought them back into the Championship in 2008. Billy Davis took Forest to 2 playoff semi-finals but lost both and was replaced by Steve McLaren, an experiment that lasted only a few months. In these years, the club was owned by Nigel Doughty, a fan who conveniently also happened to be a millionaire venture capitalist. But after some ill-advised decisions caused friction with fans and staff, he put the club up for sale in 2012. Before the sale could go through, Doughty died suddenly, and the sale was put in the hands of investment bankers who chose the Al-Hassawi family, led by Fawaz Al-Hassawi, as the new owners. Despite initial promising noises from the Al-Hassawis, Forest have finished in a lower league position in each of the 4 full seasons that they have been in charge. Those 4 seasons have seen 7 permanent managers: Steve Cotterill, Sean O'Driscoll, Alex McLeish, Billy Davis, Stuart Pearce, Dougie Freedman and Philippe Montagnier. The sale of young players coupled with any lack of real structure has meant the club has proved toxic, to the point that Nigel Clough recently turned down the manager's job. Now, after a proposed takeover by an American group collapsed, Forest have an uncertain future. Everyone knows that they will never again reach the true glories of the past, but all that fans ask for is a club that they can be proud of again. Who knows when or if that will happen.